is, I think I've heard that your wife is cousin with Tyler Hynes. So my thing to you was I saw y'all's little skit from his movie where you and him made fun of your scenes with him and Aaron. So what can we do to get you and Tyler into a comedy movie? Because I feel like that if you and Tyler paired up to do a movie, but probably one like the man bro like movies where it's like man code and y'all I just feel like that movie would just be over the top hilarious. So I think we need to kind of start working.
Well, what if I told you that maybe there's things in the works already?
Well, then I tell you, you'll be even more one of my favorite people.
I want to welcome you to yet another episode of Media from the Heart. My name is Ruth Hill, and I am your host. This podcast is a defining podcast for me. When I think of why I do what I do, this episode will demonstrate in a way I could never describe why I began this podcast in the first place. First of all, what a joy to bring on my very dear friend, Andrew Walker. He is one of the first people I ever interviewed, and he has been a champion of my work, just like I have been a champion of his. But my favorite thing is I was able to turn this podcast over to my virtual audience. Oh, I was there. Don't worry. We talk about his upcoming mystery series and a little bit about that. But my virtual audience did something that I could never do. They asked these questions that were questions that I never even thought of asking. So sit back, relax, enjoy, open your heart, and prepare to see Andrew Walker as I have seen him for many years. Enjoy. Well, I want to welcome everybody to another episode of Media from the Heart. My name is Ruth Hill, and I am your host. And today is probably one of the most exciting episodes that I've had the opportunity to record. And that is because not only do I have a wonderful guest that I will introduce in just a moment, but I have this fantastic virtual audience. We have a really good number of people here, and this virtual audience is going to be really helping me out today. You will see that as we go through this process. My special guest is my really, really good friend, Andrew Walker.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for that incredible intro. Thank you for that special intro, Ruth. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that it's this kind of format. I love this, that I'm able to see people's names, see questions as they pop up. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to answer as many of these questions as I possibly can during the time that we have. So thank you, everybody, for joining. And Ruth, thank you all, as always, for your support, in just caring about my movies and caring about me as an actor and a person. And your support is I meet it with a lot of gratitude. So thank you very much.
That's really nice, Andrew. Thank you so much. That makes me feel really good. It's been such a joy. I mean, I feel like we've known each other for all this time, for several years. For those who don't know, Andrew's one of my first interviews ever, and he still has one of these wonderful, incredible comments that I have quoted many, many times over the course of my career here interviewing, because he said after the interview that we first did, he said, well, you were able to bring some order and organization to my ramblings. And I just always thought, that's so cool that you would say that,
That's a talented interviewer right there. That's the makings of somebody who's doing what they should be doing, following your calling.
Thank you, Andrew. Well, you certainly have followed your calling. I mean, oh my goodness, I cannot get over the amount of Hallmark movies that you've done. Did I read that you've actually done now maybe this is wrong, but I read that someone said you've done over 20 Hallmark movies. Is that correct?
I think this new mystery is my 21st Hallmark movie.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's time has flown by, and my journey on the network has been, it's just been really unexpected. And I feel like I didn't, and I think this is what you hope for in life. I feel like I didn't realize the degree of how fortunate I was at the very beginning. I didn't. I moved through life, and I guess, I don't know, somebody had told me, and I'm not a Buddhist, but somebody had told me it's a little bit of a Buddhist way of doing things, where I don't hold a lot of weight to a lot of things, like nothing. I just let things kind of go. If I'm met with a challenge, or if something doesn't pan out the way I didn't want it to pan out, I just kind of like let it go. It kind of, it's very, I don't, outside of my kids and the health of my family, there's not a lot of things that I stress about too much. But with my acting career, with Hallmark, and with my acting career in general, there was a heaviness to my acting career at the very beginning. Like, I'm talking, 15 years ago, I almost quit the business, and then Hallmark came calling, and every movie I do for Hallmark, I always thought it was my last movie, and up until about 15 movies in, did I think, okay, well, maybe there's like, there's a home here for me. There's a bit of a rhythm happening here. And there's also a fan base that I feel like they want to see my face again. So, I want to go deeper, and I want to give people better work. And I want to try to put out, work that I'm really proud of, and that I can kind of push the boundaries of, the parameters of what Hallmark allows us to do. And, and so I feel like now, 21 movies in, I feel like I'm still barely scratching the surface on what I can still bring to Hallmark. So it's always, it's ever changing, and very, very exciting time to be at the network.
Wow. Well, first of all, there's absolutely no way that whatever your next Hallmark movie was, that was to be your last one. There's no way. I mean, absolutely not. You were one of the first names that I actually knew in Hallmark movies, because I didn't really pay much attention to Hallmark movies. And then Andrew W. Walker would come up on the screen and like, well, who is this person? And it's like, oh, we like him. And oh yeah, my mom and I, we both, and my mom is here, by the way. So you might see her. My mom is Neva Mayer, so if you happen to see that person's name, you'll see that that's my mom, and she has a tendency to come on. Neva, yes, yeah.
Neva, okay, great. I'll look up for Neva.
Yeah, so she is a huge fan of yours as well. I say Andrew Walker. She knows who you are. I mean, which is rare, because as yeah, my mom's in the room. That's
Neva, hey. Neva, you behind the curtain, Neva?
Yeah, she's behind the curtain.
Reveal yourself, Neva. Come on. There she is. Hey.
There we go. Thank you, Mom, for just like messing everything up. That's all right. That's all right. That's the beauty of this. But no, she. I always say it's funny, because she usually, if I say somebody's name on Hallmark, especially, she has no idea who I'm talking about, and I might have to go through 10 different roles they've played, and then it'll be finally like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that person. I say Andrew Walker. Ever since Dashing Through the Snow, she's known your name. So
oh, that's great. Well, thank you, Neva. I appreciate that. Chad just came up. He said, yes, she's Oz.
She's Oz. Yeah, so I just saw that.
She's
too.
Oz.
I saw that too. Well, before I open it up for questions, now I want to mention this mystery series that's coming up. I remember that, I don't remember if it was the last interview that we did or the one before that. And also, I think it's because I interviewed Nikki around the same time. I remember when Hallmark brought this mystery up as a possibility. Like they were pretty sure they were to go forward with it. I know the pandemic slowed things down a bit, as we understand that. But I remember when you brought it up that, well, we're doing a mystery. Nikki and I are going to do a mystery series. And Nikki was like, and I talked to her and she's like, oh yeah, we're going to do that. And I will admit, I thought that the pandemic may have completely axed it. I had that concern because a lot of movies and shows were going away because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I was so excited when I heard that you were actually going through with filming this mystery.
You and me both. Yeah, and I had also heard that Hallmark potentially might be moving away from some of their mysteries. So, the one thing that wasn't a guarantee, but it was a little closer to it could be a reality, is that Nikki's a little witchy. She knows what you're thinking before you say it. Before you even think it. Almost, she manifests things. She's a very, very special person like this. My wife is very similar like this. I think actually females can kind of have like, it's the mother instincts. It's just things that they know and they can feel it in their bones, but Nikki has like this, I don't know, there's this something about her that's a little witchy is all I can say. But she had told me 3 years ago, she goes, Andrew, we're doing a mystery reel together and I'm going to make it happen. If it's not coming from Hallmark, I'm developing something that I know Hallmark is going to love. And I'm blanking on the producer that she's working with. He's out of Montreal, Joel Rice. So Joel and her were developing this idea, and she goes, "I want you to be in it with me." And I was like, Nikki, that's amazing. I just don't know if Hallmark is going to want to put us in a fourth movie, or at that time it was a third movie, before we did Sweet Autumn. And so, at the very least, I knew Nikki wanted to work with me again, and I obviously wanted to work with her again. And so when this came around, it wasn't the concept that she had been developing, but this is a potential of 18 novels. It's the Curious Caterer, it's the Goldie Berry mystery series, and it's the Curious Caterer. And the first novel was Dying for Chocolate, and then now there's also 18 more novels that we have the potential to do. So we're hoping that everybody on this this podcast, tell your cousins and your aunts and your uncles and your sisters and brothers to watch this movie, because it has the potential for us to keep coming back for more. And one thing, I watched it. It's the first movie that I got a screener for beforehand and decided to watch. And one thing I can tell you, this is not your typical Hallmark mystery movie. This is we're pushing the limits here on a bit of a feature feel to things.
Oh wow! Well, that's exciting, because the last, you've done a lot of great movies. The last movie that I sort of sensed that was Bottled with Love. I mean, just the feature. Not that you haven't done great films, but I remember that one being such a special one that we talked about. So that's pretty exciting, because I know that the question was asked in chat. I think it was Susan who asked it.
Yeah.
How long before you will know if this will actually become a mystery series, if it will become an actual series?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know how these things work. I think if we find out the fall, usually you find out the following week the numbers, and if the numbers are good, then we most likely will, Hallmark has an idea in their head. If we hit a certain number, then we'll be able to green light the next one pretty quickly. I think that the plan is, I think they feel like it could be a definite go, and this is something Nikki and I spoke about before we did this movie. We said to each other, look, we've done 3 movies. They've all done pretty well. And it's funny you bring up Bottled with Love, because Bethany Joy Lenz and I have done 2 movies, one for Lifetime, one for Hallmark. Mm-hmm. And both those movies did really well. And I would say out of the 2 actresses that I've worked with in my career, Bethany Joy Lenz, who likes to be called Joy. Joy and Nikki are two of my female creative muses. Like, they really bring this out in me. And I think it's their work ethic, and they work very differently, but Nikki and I, we connect we have an athletic background, and we just kind of, we jump into things. Joy and I are, I feel like it's more of like I don't want to say more of, but it's, Joy and I have a good tennis match. Like, we'll flow with each other really well. Nikki and I will put so much work in the beginning, and so when we get in the space, we just kind of leave it all behind, and it feels loose because we've put so much structural work into the dialogue and more or less what we're, where the scene has to start, where it has to end. And this is something that was really beautiful process on Curious Caterer in Dying for Chocolate, is that the director we were working with, he was a first-time director named Anthony Mecci, and he's a DP, he's a director of photography. So he's been behind the camera on 300 plus different projects. The guy's worked forever. He's done about 30 different Hallmark movies. And he has a clout on set that people just want to rally behind him. And it's funny because everyone's worked with him multiple times, and he's just this super sweet Nigerian man who has this beautiful accent, this amazing accent. But he would allow us, before we'd come in to set, there would be no set cameras on set. He would just say, okay, guys, walk me through the blocking, do your dialogue. This is where I think we should start the scene. This is where we should end the scene. Nikki, Andrew, go. Just do the scene now, however you want to be in the room. And then once we did our blocking one time, he'd say, okay, you guys feel good with that? We're like, yeah, and then like, Nikki, let's just clean this part up. Where do you think we should do this? Maybe you should, come on this side of me. And we really wanted there to be a lot of movement in the movie, because a lot of the time these things can get very stagnant. Especially with 15 days, you don't get a lot of time to be rehearsing. So we just really wanted to, put the work in before, so we come to set and we can really, and we almost had it mapped out a little bit in our ideas of where we want it to be. And so we basically do our blocking. Then he'd invite camera in. Camera would see it, set our marks. Then we'd leave. We'd come back in again. Once the cameras are all set up, we do one more rehearsal, and then we'd shoot it. And we just get like 2 takes, on different angles. And you do 2 takes, and then we move on. But he allowed us just to bring our creative input every single scene, every single day.
That's really cool. I don't think I've heard of a director doing it quite that way. So I love getting to hear all the different ways that people work. And his name does sound familiar. When you said it, I was like, well, that name, how could he be a first-time director? But then as you explained it, because I tend to watch the credits a lot in the movies, and so I will see those names, and so that's why. I'm sure that's why. All right, well, I want to make sure, I know there are people already asking questions, and some people are already like putting in there, they want to come on and ask their questions.
All right.
And so let's start this, because I know I just have a feeling there's going to be a lot, which is a good thing. That's actually what I love about this format. Tammy, you're first up.
Hi, Ruth. Thank you so much.
Hi, Tammy.
Hey, Andrew. I just want to say that I absolutely love you and all of your work, whether it's serious or funny. I just feel like that your personality, everything that I've seen you in, you have it's just amazing to watch you, because you just fit the character and the parts perfectly with everything.
Thank you, Tammy. That means a lot. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. And I wish you all the best with every endeavor in the future, because I feel like you're going to be around for a very long time.
That's the hope. Thank you.
It will happen. It will happen. And I actually just heard your story recently of how you started when you drove across from Canada. It was I think the podcast that you might have did a long time ago with Paul Green.
Yeah.
And it was just hearing your story was just really interesting, and it was very intriguing to hear where you came from and how you got here. So it was cool. But what I wanted to
ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. I think that's what I learned. You just gotta, you don't think about the potential negatives of what could be. It's just basically, I just jumped in a car with a friend of mine and was like, well, I'm just going to go to California and see what happens, and obviously I was at the age where I could do that too. I was 21. So, but yeah, no, it was, I love that you heard that story, because it's it's everyone has their journey of how they got to where they are today. And I feel like that was my story. And I couldn't have done it without my friend that I came here with. He was such a champion of my work, and also I was of his. We had worked together on a TV series back in Montreal, so we had just finished working together for 2 years on a TV show. So we were able to help each other out in auditions and stuff, and we just had such a great time in our audition process too. And that's sometimes what weighs a lot of actors down, is they don't like the audition process. It can really be a grueling process when you keep hearing no, denial. So just to have him in my court and me in his, it was just nice to have the two of us to help push each other along.
Mm-hmm. And those are the friends we want in life.
Yes.
But I wanted to find out from you. So the rumor is, I think I've heard that your wife is cousin with Tyler Hynes. So my thing to you was, I saw y'all's little skit from his movie where you and him made fun of the scenes with him and Aaron. So what can we do to get you and Tyler into a comedy movie? Because I feel like that if you and Tyler paired up to do a movie, but probably one like the man bro like movies where it's like man code and y'all comedy, I just feel like that movie would just be over the top hilarious. So I think we need to kind of start looking.
Well, what if I told you that maybe there's things in the works already?
Well, then I tell you, you'll be even more one of my favorite people.
So yeah, Tyler, the rumor is true. Tyler is my wife's first cousin. And yeah, he comes over to our house. He's cool cousin Tyler. He drives up in his Harley Davidson. My boys run out. My son West, who's close to 7 years old, he absolutely adores Tyler. He thinks he's the coolest thing on the planet. I have to tell him he's not the coolest thing on the planet, West, no, but he's pretty cool. But anyways, he comes over here, he has some food, and we'll watch Hallmark movies together. It's so funny. We'll like sit there and watch his movie, my movie. We'll watch other friends of ours movies, and just hang out. And it's so serendipitous and such an incredible situation that we're both working on this on this same network together, and able to put smiles on people's faces. Like at Christmas Con, his booth was right next to mine specifically because they knew that we were, that we have this fun little banter. And so, we kept on going over to each other's booths and just check. You have to check. I mean, everyone has to check in every day. And, we're so fortunate to be living in the country we're living in especially nowadays, when you think of what's happening around the world and everything, we're and to have the abundance that I have in my life and Tyler has in his life because of this network we work on, and to do the content we're able to put out there and put smiles on people's faces and have them escape for an hour, and just it's the greatest. I feel like I'm living my dream life. I say it every single day. I'm living my dream life. And so to answer your question about a movie that we could potentially do together, Hallmark has heard the fans, and they know this. So we've actually been actively in talks about when that movie will come around and what it'll be, but it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, I can see y'all doing like a movie based on the previous Hallmark movies and skits from it and recreating them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I just see the two of y'all's demeanor together and everything. So that's awesome. But real quick, because I know everybody else wants you to, but Christmas Con. So I was supposed to go to New Jersey and I couldn't go. So my two friends were there, and so they ended up meeting Tyler. And so they actually FaceTimed me, and Tyler talked to me on FaceTime since I couldn't.
Oh, that's great.
And I was just like, so I think that for me, with all the Hallmark actors, you guys are so outgoing to all of us that it just makes such a difference because you welcome us as much as everyone welcomes y'all. And it just means a lot to everyone. And I do one more quick thing. I think y'all need to sell your shirts. The ones you had at Christmas Con with your faces on them, like we want those. Like y'all need to put them out so we can order those shirts.
It's true. Yeah, there was a guy who made those for us. There was actually a few different people that put these shirts together.
Wow.
We should. You're right. We should get these T-shirts made to sell or to even give away or whatever. I mean, it's. That would be great. That'd be great. I agree. I agree with you. We need to get those out to you.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you, Andrew. You take care and best wishes with everything.
Thanks so much, Tammy.
Thanks.
Great to see you. Great to speak to you.
All right.
Same with you.
Hi, Andrew. I am honored and privileged to be Ruth's mother. I will admit. She is such a joy and such a blessing.
You are, Neva.
Yeah. And yes, and she's so right. She's one when you go to the movie theaters, you have to sit and wait for all those credits to go through. I mean, I'm ready as soon as the movie's over, popcorn's done, I'm out. Not Ruth. She's and she has an incredible memory about people's names and all. So yes. When I saw Dashing Through the Snow, which I admit is one of my very favorite movies that you did, I watch it at least 5 times every Christmas season. I just love it. I don't know. There's just something about it. It's just really got to me. And that's when I remembered your name. And I only have about 5 actors, maybe 3 actresses that I remember your names. It's like, oh, I know who you mean. And I just want to say you are incredible. I'm looking forward to your mystery series. Love mysteries. Absolutely. I eat them up. I'll binge watch them. I love them. So I'm looking forward to it. But, I just want to say incredible actor. But what I really enjoy seeing is how the interaction and the character with your family, the example that you model to the world of being a dad, being a husband, it's so uplifting, and it's just like it's so wonderful to see, and the interaction with your kids and the relationship with your wife. And I just want to say thank you for the beautiful example, because that's not easy in today's world. It's never easy, but man, in today's world, it's rough. And the business that you've chosen, it is rough. And I just say thank you so very much. I admire you for that.
I so appreciate that. As I was saying before to Ruth at the very beginning, I feel like it's a dream situation for me. I do 2 to 3 movies a year for Hallmark. I go up to Vancouver for 25 to 30 days each movie. So, in total, I'm maybe working 90 days in a year. Obviously, my wife and I have businesses, and I'm doing other things when I get back to LA. But really, my manager has asked me, my agent's asked me, he's like, do you want to do a series 6 months in Atlanta? Do you want to do, a series over, and at the stage that I'm at right now in my life, my priority is being a father. Outside of everything else, I mean, obviously you have to work, right? I mean, that's just the reality of life. But to be able to be doing the work that I do, and to have the time off that I have in order to put back time into my family and to spend time with my boys. And we all know that it goes by so fast, but I like to think that it's not going to go by so fast. I like to take every single moment of every day and just really try to prolong those moments and you know, as I get older, as I think in general, as people get a little older, you start realizing the, you know, the importance in those moments, that you're just connection, just communication, talking, sitting down, having a good conversation, asking my son, you know, we do gratitude mornings, you know, what are you grateful for today, Wes? You know, and Wolf is a little too young now, but yeah, just having these having time spent is with my family is the biggest priority. So Hallmark allows me that to have that balance in my life, and that's what I'm trying to find. I'm always trying to find balance, and yeah, so I appreciate what you know. I appreciate you recognizing that, but it's I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't able to spend time with my family. I don't want to be a workaholic. I don't want to be in an office job. These are the things I've somehow been able to, you know, fall into the place I'm at now in my life. And I think, you know, I used to say, I might not be the best actor out there, but I can tell you what, I'm going to try my hardest, and I'm going to be a really easy person to work with on set. And there's going to be no issues for me. I don't need blue M&Ms in my trailer. I don't need extra, you know, I don't need a larger trailer than the next person. I don't need more time in my trailer to put my makeup on. I'm going to be, throw me into any room as a green room. I want to show up, know what I'm doing, be a collaborator, and, you know, and just continue to be able to come home to my family and support my family, you know. So those are the things that I need in my life, and I fortunately have it, and have that, and I have so much more. So
well, it certainly comes across not only in your social media pages, but also in your movies, because you are an incredible actor. You get into the part, which helps me get into the part, rather than just sitting there and say, oh yeah, it was another Hallmark movie, big deal, you know. That's, you know, I forget all about it. And it's like you really do bring your characters alive, and I really appreciate that. That is an art and a gift. And so I just want to say thank you, and it was great chatting with you. Look forward to meeting you on the cruise. So
yes,
looking forward to that.
Great. Yeah, you too. I can't wait for you to see Dying for Chocolate. This is the farthest thing from a Hallmark movie, to be honest. So
I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait to hear your review. I need your honest review.
Okay, you got it. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, Janet, you are up next.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Janet. Nice to meet you as well.
Okay, I got 2 questions for your movie. Okay,
yes.
1, you and Nikki, do you ever go off script, ad lib in this movie?
Oh yes, yeah. And what we tend to do though is we meet the second that we get a script that's semi-locked, because these scripts always change up until about 3 days before we shoot. Even while we're shooting, they'll change. We'll get network changes on the day even. But what we'll do is we do our pass 2 weeks before, and we'll change big chunks of the scene to you know, as we're talking it out with each other, we feel like there's a different flow, or maybe they're missing some information because the actors know, once the actors have the script, we know the script better than pretty much anybody else does, because we sit with it every single day, and I try to read the script 50, 60 times all the way through before I'm on set. So yes, we change a lot before, but also on the day, and even in the middle of the scene, we'll ad lib little things here and there. Obviously, the integrity of the scene and the arc is there, but we throw things in. We'll even action. You know, if there's something in Nikki's hand, and just I feel the impulse to just take it out of her hand in the middle of the scene and throw her off a little bit, I'll do that. You know, or you know, you just try to keep it as spontaneous and real as possible.
Okay. The next question is, when you were in the woods at night, did anybody pull a prank, either you, Nikki, or the crew, or to the crew, or from either one?
Do you know what? Unfortunately, nobody did that night because we were under the gun when it came to time. We were on a time crunch that night. So I think everybody was just trying to stay focused and make sure we got through the night, because there was so many different shots that we needed to get, and it was cold out. And but no, we didn't play the you'll see in the movie, the guy that plays my predecessor, or the guy, I take him under my wing. He's a young cop that's he looks up to me. His name is Riley Davis, is the actor, but he plays Mason in the movie. He's hilarious. So he would just kept us laughing all night. He was just throwing jokes out. And so yeah, no, we didn't play any tricks on each other though that night.
Okay, I just want to say the other night, I saw you back, I guess in 2005 on Reba.
Yes.
TV show, the Halloween one.
Yeah.
Where you played Frank.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, even my mother called me and she goes, Andrew's on. Andrew, what's his last name? Andrew Walker. I was like,
yeah, that was fun. I did a series called Maybe It's Me that was in 2004, around 2004, 2003. And Fred Willard played my dad on this TV series, and we did an entire season. And the one of the writers from Maybe It's Me was also one of the writers from Reba, and he actually just brought me in on the Halloween episode. He said, "Hey Andrew, you want to come over on this Halloween episode and do the episode?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." You know, Reba was doing so well at that time, and also to meet Reba McEntire, you know, she's incredible. You know, the queen of country music. Well, I guess Dolly Parton would be the queen of country music, right? Yeah. But Reba's close to it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. Good to see you.
Bye.
Hello.
Hi, Paula.
I have a non-Hallmark question.
Yes.
Ruth knows I always like to come up with those. I'm like Ruth. I like to read the credits. And I want to know, what was your craziest credit that came up for a movie for you? Like, you know, a man standing on a box, or, you know, the pushing down a cart or something like that. Have you ever?
Oh, wow. I have to go back in deep in the vault here. I don't, my craziest credit. I mean, I was in CSI Miami, and I pretty much played a dead guy the entire time I was on that episode. So I should have been dead guy in the credits. But it had to be, it has to be when I was younger. You know, I've been doing this since I was 13 years old. So in Montreal, Canada. So there's gotta be some funny ones. I've had movies where I was in a which unbelievable. And I can't believe that I actually was in a movie like this with these three actors, but it was Robert De Niro, Marlon Brando, and Edward Norton in The Score. It was called, the movie The Score. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but it was back in 1997 or 1998. And it was the movie, it was infamous. Marlon Brando shot all of his scenes with his pants off in that movie. Frank Oz was the director, and Marlon Brando didn't want to wear pants because he didn't want Frank Oz to shoot him from the waist down. And it was kind of when Marlon Brando was losing his marbles a bit. But that movie, I was in, they did a 2-day shoot with me in this incredible set. Must have cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars to put this set together. And my scenes never made it into the movie. So I was credited, I think I had the character name, but I never made it in the movie. So there's moments like that, but I don't know. I haven't really played, I've fortunately, in my career, I've always had like a name. I haven't been like, Dead Guy 1 or garbage man, So
on Wikipedia, it says in 2021, you were listed as the tall guy for Unexpected Christmas.
Well, there we go. Tyler Hynes' movie. Tyler Hynes, tall guy won.
Tall guy, that's the way you're listed, as the tall guy.
I never knew that, Paula.
Yeah.
So this is you're teaching me something here. So that's
right.
the craziest credit that I've ever had.
Yeah. And then what did you think? What was your reaction the very first time you saw your name? I mean, like you've said you worked when you were young, and just actually see your name.
Oh, it was so exciting. It was butterflies in my stomach, and I was more nervous of what was going to come next. My actual scenes that I had to, my first scenes that I said I had lines. But I remember my parents were so proud, and my mom especially, because my mom is the one that I really truly owe my acting career to, because she's the one that pushed me into being an actor. She's an artist, and my dad was the athlete, and he's the sports guy. So I ride the teeter-totter of both. But my mom was so proud. She was just she's like, "Wow, it's your name on the screen. It's your name." So yeah, it was fun to see. I'd love to go back and really remember that, because I love that question.
Yeah. And then the very last thing is choose an old movie. You get to remake it, and you get to play the main character. What movie would you like to, an old remake?
Not one that I've done.
One that you've done, one that you would do if you had a chance.
Oh yeah, that is interesting. Maybe Marathon Man. Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, okay.
I love some of, like, Mrs. Robinson. I don't know. I love a lot of Dustin Hoffman's movies. Yeah. Not that I'm a Dustin Hoffman actor. I'm a different type of actor. He's, he had such a brilliant career in being the leading man, but still a character actor. Yeah, probably one of those. If I sat with it a little longer, I'd probably think of this in an hour from now, 2 hours from now. That's the one that I'd say.
I thank you. If I would have had time, because I know other people want to ask names, I don't know your beginning. And that Ruth always usually covers a little bit of that. So I'm going to have to go and figure out where you started.
Okay.
So,
yeah, definitely, Paula.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm thinking of it. Also, The Fugitive, Harrison Ford. I'd love to play The Fugitive. I love Harrison Ford's career. Yeah, I would. That's, for me, that would be the be all and end all, like the Indiana Jones and all these great movies that he's been in.
Yeah.
So
someday.
Well, right now I'm fine. I love what I'm doing. I love being on Hallmark. It's great.
There you go. Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula.
Yeah, and Paula, if you happen to look up Paul Green, when he interviewed Andrew, they went deep into his beginnings. I know I didn't spend much time with that this time, because I knew that I wanted to get to people. But that's it. That's an option.
Thank you.
All right, Paula Waters.
Hello, Andrew.
Hi, Paula.
I just want to say I love skiing. And I saw that you missed out on your glacier skiing. That's too bad. But my question is, where's your dream ski location in the world that you haven't been, but you would love to go to?
I feel like wherever you are right now, you seem like you're in a ski cabin somewhere in Aspen, or look at you.
Not a cabin, but not in Aspen. Canada.
You look very cozy there. My dream. Wow. Yeah. There's so many great places to ski. I think I would love to go to Japan. My my brother-in-law, funny enough, was my hero skier growing up. He won our gold medal in moguls in Lillehammer. He won the Lillehammer gold medal, and he was kind of like the hometown hero of Quebec, the province of Quebec. French guy, and he ended up marrying my sister-in-law now. And randomly, so funny how like and we're 5-6 years apart, but he's obviously traveled the world. When he was touring, when he was skiing for the when he was training for the Olympics, he was all throughout Europe and parts of the States, and obviously the Rockies. But I've skied some beautiful places. I've skied Banff, Alberta, Banff, Lake Louise.
Yeah, Whistler's my favorite. Have you been to Whistler? That's my favorite.
I was in Whistler 2 weeks ago. That was my ski trip. That's where we were. We had a heli ski trip planned in Whistler. I've skied Whistler probably 60 times in my life. Right. Now I go to Whistler whenever I'm working in Vancouver. I ski Whistler. I always bring my skis up there, my boots. I'm there all the time. I love Whistler. But I would love to go to Japan. Japan is because supposedly you could ski. First off, the snow is unlike anything. They say it's very, very light, powdery snow, and the food is incredible. You can ski down and you have these beautiful Japanese dishes, noodles or sushi, with tea.
Sushi and they go back to the top of the mountain.
That's it. And also the Italian Alps. I'd love to ski the Italian Alps because it's the same deal there. For me, skiing, the culture of skiing is all about food, good wine, good slopes, the people you meet from all over the world. You come off the ski hill. If you're on the ski hill at 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, you go hard pretty much all day until 2:30. And then you're in the bar, you're having a beer, or you have food, and you're sharing stories with people. And so that's.
I never thought of Japan. That's a really cool answer. That's cool.
Wow.
Switzerland too, Tim.
One other quick one. How healthy were you as an eater when you were young? When did you, I know Little West is very healthy drink, keeps you up on your, all your needs, but what age did you start? Were you a good eater when you were in your 20s, or did that suddenly flip for some reason?
When I look back now, I just consumed so much food because I was trying to keep weight for football. And I at a certain point, I weighed 215 pounds when I was playing football. When I was a running back, I'm 172 pounds now. And now then it was more of how much weight could I lift and how much did I weigh on the scale as well. I was trying to keep beefing up. Now it's about energy. I monitor myself. It's not about I'll eat anything. I don't deny myself that much. I have a regiment that I stay within because it makes me feel the best. But it really hit me when it first started. I'll tell you what, there was a shift when I hit 22, 23 years old, when I started doing more meditative eating. And I didn't even know it was meditative eating when I was doing it, but I started slowing down with tasting my food. I was why am I just hammering this stuff back in my, and I think it was also my family, my dad, my dad's in his early 80s, and he grew up during the Depression, and he had, his mom, it was all about food that was on your plate, you eat the whole plate. You can't leave anything on the plate. And then when I would do that when I was a kid, he'd be like, "Oh, that's a good boy. You ate your whole plate. You want seconds?" And then I'd be like, "Yeah, well, I guess if my dad wants me to have seconds, I'll have seconds." Yes, I'll have seconds. And now the way that, my wife and I were obviously around a lot of health and wellness, a lot of nutritionists, a lot of people that know a lot more than we do about health and wellness. And it's about, you don't force your kids to eat their food in front of them. You basically, especially as a 2-year-old, most people are like, "Oh, my 2-year-old didn't have breakfast this morning." Well, don't worry, your 2-year-old's going to have lunch. You can't force the food down their throat. It's more just, and what I tell my 7-year-old now, I'm like, "Wes, enjoy what you have a bite, taste it. Let's talk about it. What do you taste? What do you taste in your mouth? What's the texture like? And so just promoting a little bit of that, ultimately it changes the way that you consume food, because you think of it a little bit more, and you think of it, you taste it, it sits in your stomach, you know, you have time to think how it makes you feel, you know, when it sits in your, as opposed to just like taking it all back, then 30 minutes later going, oh man, I ate too much, or I'm feeling bloated, or I feel whatever it is. So that switched when I was around 22, 23. It was about taking my time eating, and then things just started changing. I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't have so much of this, and maybe I should, instead of having this, I'll have, you know, I'll throw some more greens in here. And then just, you know, my energy levels started to be higher than they'd ever been, or I started feeling more aware, less brain fog. You know, I think that's really what I eat for now, is to feel my best, keep my energy high, minimize my brain fog, wake up in the morning.
Good for people, right?
Yeah, everything our juice. Yeah, I have 2-3 juices a day. You know, I'll not so much of the fruit stuff, but I have more of our vegetable based juices.
And they're available in Canada now? I've been looking. Are they available?
Not yet. No. We were supposed to launch April 1st, but we had a label issue. We actually, believe it or not, we've had a label issue because in Canada it has to be bilingual. So there was a couple different names that we went with that I guess we had a trademark issue with, and so we had to hold. We've been pushed back 30 days. So end of April we should be having juice. You could be able to order juice.
Waiting for.
Right. That's right.
Pardon
All
me?
right. Well, thanks, Andrew. I said we're waiting for 30 days.
Yeah.
30 days. 30 days.
Thank you. We'll see you on the cruise.
Paula.
I'll bring you some blue M&Ms. How's that?
I don't need them. I'll eat them though.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfectly. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Andrew. Hi, Ruth. Ruth, thank you so much for doing this. You are the best. You're the angel. Thank you.
You're the best. Ruth is the best.
Thank you. I'm so sorry I'm running late. I'm so bad with time, so I apologize to you both. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Andrew, my name is Veronica Robles. I'm from Houston, Texas. I just want to say I am a huge fan of your work in TV and film. I love your Christmas movie over the holidays of 2021. I have two quick questions. Are you going to be doing a Christmas movie this coming year for 2022?
I will be doing it.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. I have to tell my mom, because she loves your work too on Hallmark. We love your work on Hallmark.
Tell your mom I say hi.
I will. Her name is Gloria. She's
Gloria.
She's my mom, and she's amazing. And we love your movies. And I'm gonna tell her after we get off from here. I'm gonna tell her.
Tell her I say hello, please.
I will. I promise. And also too. And my last question is, all your movies, what one of your movies would like to make a sequel from one of all your favorite movies, of all the movies that you've done for Hallmark?
The one I just did, The Curious Caterer. I really want to do more sequels to this movie.
Yes.
It's a character I've never played before on a Hallmark movie, and it's it's so much fun with it. I had so much fun with it, and I see there being a much bigger arc to my character exploration than any other movie that I've done. And I also Bottled with Love would have been a lot of fun to do a sequel to as well, because I just love working with Joy. With Bethany Joy Reins.
Absolutely. I love my mom and we love the ending of the movie with you and Joy. We were crying. I was like, oh gosh, this is so cute. Oh my gosh. But other than that, I just want to say thank you so much for doing this. Please come back, and the interviews you do with Ruth, they're awesome. I take everything to heart that, what you said is you got to keep going no matter what the obstacles you face in life. I have a disability, but also I'm in college right now at St. Jacinto College in Houston, Texas. And my fifth grade teacher told me I wasn't going to go to college because of my disability, but I proved her wrong. So I have been in college since 2016, and I'm a part-time administrator assistant for college prep here in Houston, Texas. So I help professors in San Jacinto College for almost 2 years. So I thank you. You know, I from what you said in interviews with Ruth, thank you, because you know what, it just keeps me going. Even with everything I'm facing right now, it just keeps me going. So thank you, Ruth. Thank you
so
Andrew
much,
and
Veronica.
Ruth. Thank you so much.
Honestly, you guys do the same thing for me. You don't realize it. You keep me going in what I do. You make me want to be better in what I do as well, and bring you better work and just be more accessible to you people. And I had somebody ask earlier, why did I choose to do a cruise with Paul? This is the reason. I want to get closer to my fans. It's a very specific thing that we're doing here. I'm not working on an ABC TV series or CBS or, I'm working on a network where I feel like this is what it's all about, the fans.
Amen.
And
yes.
and it's a special group of people that we get to do these movies for. And,
yes.
And so first off, congratulations to you, Veronica, as well. That's amazing.
You so much.
Look at these obstacles you're overcoming,
Amen.
It's amazing.
Yes.
We all are in our own right, overcoming some obstacle in a way. And it's waking up in the morning time. My wife says it all the time to our kids. It's a choice to either wake up and have, take the day on with a smile, or you can just let the negativity or the negative points of your day drag you down. But
yes,
it's a choice, and we all have choices. And it looks like you're making these choices for yourself that are really that are paying off. And so congrats to you.
Thank
Veronica.
you so much, Andrew, and thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, Ruth, and please come back. I cannot wait to see your Christmas movie in this holiday season.
But watch April 10th first.
And
we
will. My mom and I will be watching because we're huge fans of yours. And Nikki, and if you can you do me one favor? Can you tell Nikki I said hello? We're huge fans. We love her work.
Absolutely,
on Hallmark.
Veronica.
And more sequels to the movie just coming up April 10th, and we will be watching.
Amazing. Nikki and I are going to be doing a live an hour before our movie airs on April 10th at 5:00 on her Instagram feed. And so you could pop in, just say hi to us, and I'll see your name there. And so, yeah, and Hallmark is going to help us market it as well. So you'll be hearing more about it if you follow me on social media. If you follow Nikki Deloach on social media, I'll be telling you guys the exact time, day that we're going to be doing this. So
yes, we will be watching April 10th, and thank you so much for doing this. And I hope Hallmark gives you guys more sequels to this movie because we love mystery movies. They are awesome.
Thanks, Veronica.
You have a wonderful day. Thank you,
Veronica. All right, we just have 3 more people. Andrew, you are doing so well. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh man, this is great.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey,
we're so excited to be here. I'm wearing my Christmas con sweatshirt.
Oh
yeah. I'm hoping to get hoping to get another photo with you then at Christmas con.
Right.
You will get another photo with me. Let's do it.
That's right. So your name's Kristen, right? I'm just making sure, right?
Kirsten.
Oh, Kirsten. Sorry.
Kirsten.
And then who is this with you?
This is my brother.
Hi.
Okay.
Bryce. How you doing? What's your brother's name?
Bryce.
Hey, Bryce.
So Kirsten and Bryce. Okay.
Yes, we love watching Hallmark together and all of your movies. So we were wondering, who would you want to do a Hallmark movie with that you haven't done one with yet?
Oh, this question. Oh boy. Yeah, it's I get asked this a lot. There's so many talented actresses out there, and there's also girls that haven't worked on Hallmark that that I would love to work with. I feel like just because it's come around a few times now, and I absolutely love her to death, and I feel like I need to also redeem myself from playing a character on her TV show that people didn't really love. But I'd love to work with Erin Krakow in a movie. I think that would be the perfect Christmas movie, the next Christmas movie for me to do with her as my as my co-star.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. And also, are you and Tyler both going to do another duo photo op at Christmas Con together?
I think we will.
Thank you for answering my questions.
No problem, Kirsten. Good to see you, Bryce. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you both.
Thank you.
Good. All right. And we have Timmy from England.
Hi, I'm going with
Timmy.
the suit of asking two questions. My first one is, you mentioned that you do a gratitude practice with your son in the mornings. What was the most surprising answer he ever gave you? Did anything caught you off
with
guard?
gratitude?
Yeah.
The most surprising. He says very random things. Like he'll give gratitude for, the sun coming up, or he'll give gratitude that, he gets to have crackers for his lunch. That because he knew I put like a little side thing of crackers in his thing, in his lunch bag. But the most random thing, he said to me that he gets to go on a spaceship that day. That's what he was most grateful for, that he gets to fly on his space shuttle. I'm like,
Who wouldn't be grateful for that, right?
You got a space shuttle. You have a space shuttle flight today, buddy? That's incredible. I'd have gratitude for that as well. So tell me how your journey is at the end of the day, and take some pictures of space for me, But yeah, that was, I don't know. There's so many things that he comes up with that are very, out there.
Sounds good. And what was the most valuable lesson you learned during your acting career?
I'd say adaptability, not going in with a specific agenda, not feeling like I have to be, that I'm not malleable. I think adaptability is one of the best qualities that a person can have as well in business and anything. And a movie set is comprised of so many different personalities, right? There's so many different people on the set, and you're different, especially actors have their own insecurities that they bring to the table. That's, because of fear, and because of, they want to do well. And so sometimes there's people on set that might just be a little closed off, or they come with an agenda and there's not maybe a lot of playfulness there. And you have to just know how to adapt to those people and know how to allow them to just, allow them to be as comfortable, or make them be as comfortable as possible, be nurturing and and I think that's something that I really try to be on set, is adaptable and nurturing to my co-stars, nurturing to the people around me, and just making sure that we're all there trying to put out our best work and have fun.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Timmy. All right, we got the last two here. Charlene.
There you go.
Hi,
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
I want to say that I enjoy Cassandra's cooking. I love to watch her.
So do
I love to watch her prepare meals. And I'm one cooking for one, I like to see how she uses leftovers and stuff. She's real creative, and I really enjoy that. I enjoy your movies too. I only know her because of you. You're a great actor. But is she ever not available to cook? Do you ever cook? And if you do, what's your specialty?
Yeah, she's not available. She's unavailable to cook at times, but on her busiest days, this is what I love about her. On her busiest days, and also, it's a true testament to how much of a passion it is for her, how much of a passion cooking is, and a love cooking is for her. On her busiest days, the only thing she wants to do, she can come back home and I'll say, hey, you know what, let's order in, or let's just, I'll throw something together. And she'll be like, no, I have to cook. I want to prepare something. So just, if you can keep the boys busy, I'm going to whip something up. And so it's therapeutic for her, being in the kitchen is real therapeutic for her, and it's an outlet. And her goal really is she wants to come out with a cookbook in the next, when she's out of when Little West is a little bit more, when we have some more padding with people, and in the next, with our juice company in the next 6-7 months, she really wants her next chapter to be a cookbook.
I'll be the first one to buy one.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I love how creative she is. It's really great. And
it's
you're
also
very
beautiful. She doesn't waste anything. Like you said,
Yes.
she's really good at not wasting any, like everything will either be frozen, or she'll just, turn it into a soup, or yeah.
I've frozen a lot of things at her suggestion, just because, when you're cooking for just one, you can be very wasteful. And she gets real creative. I've enjoyed watching her.
Well, I'll tell her that.
Yeah, tell her
Charlene,
that.
yeah.
I would love to have a cookbook from her.
Great. We'll put your name down as the first person.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charlene.
Thank you, Charlene.
Right. And Valerie.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Andrew. I'm
Hello.
French. I'm living in Africa, and I'm a part of a tall group. So we are going to meet next year on the cruise. But
Fantastic.
my question was, and I think you already answered part of the question. If you were given a magic wand, would you change something in your life? As I know that the beginning of your life was different, like you said, your football career. Would you change something in your life? And the other question is, you seem to be a very light person. I don't know if you say it in this way. You are very positive, and you have a huge capacity of resilience. Do you think that it comes from this experience, and what does this experience bring to you?
Yes. Well, thank you. I mean,
if you agree to answer this question,
yeah,
I know
of
that
course.
it's a little personal, but
I love it. So no, I wouldn't change a thing in my past. I feel like everything led up to where I am today, and it's life works in these ways, and I thought that back when I was 18 years old, when I was training to play college football in the States, I had a bunch of different scholarships of schools that I had scholarships at. I chose to go to Boston College. I tore my ACL. I tore my knee at spring camp, lost my scholarship, and that kind of just threw me into my acting even more. And so my trajectory from acting came from an injury, funny enough, so no, I wouldn't change a thing about my past, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have my past. And I work on myself constantly. I'm a constant work in progress, and I'm meditating, I'm doing yoga. I really believe in food being a medicine as well, and food can change the way that you think, and the way how you sleep. I try to get a good consistent sleep every single night, and I think that's a really important piece to happiness as well. And so I feel like it's all chain links, right? It's all chain links that are attached together. So you can't change overnight, but if you just do the little things all in between. And look, I slip. Sometimes I'll have too much wine to drink in a night. I'll wake up with a bit of a hangover the next day. Sometimes I'll eat, and it's not even about slipping. It's just about life. I'll eat an entire half of a pizza to myself. I'll wake up with a bellyache, and sometimes I yell, I can get upset with my kids and my wife and I'm a fiery personality, but do I learn from these experiences and constantly try to be better? Yeah. So that's, I do really work hard at trying to be the best version of myself that I can be.
That's beautiful. And I love the way you talk about food, because if we had more people who would educate the others before, we won't have so many problems after. And I'm telling that because I'm a nutrition advisor. And I really appreciate the fact that you are not forcing your children, and you say, okay, if they don't want, that's okay, because that's a part of our history. Our parents, when we were young, always forced us. You have to finish your dish, but it was after the war, so they didn't have a lot to eat. So the mindsets were different. So, and we evolve, of course, and we have so many problems now. And I really like the fact to think before the problems happen. And you are totally like we imagine you, and you are totally like, it's like you're not playing the role in your films. It's like you are the same person, simple, positive, and open-minded, and that's really agreeable to see that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Valerie. And what time is it there? What time is it where you are?
It's 7:15 p.m.
Okay, because I see it's dark outside.
Yes, totally. From 6 it's dark.
Where in Africa are you?
In Togo, in West Africa, near Nigeria, just near Nigeria.
Okay.
We were talking about Nigeria previously, so we are.
Yes, The director of our film is Nigerian.
So we are just near.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for joining.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, that actually was a perfect question to wrap things up. And I love the fact that, thank you so much, Andrew, for being willing to answer all these questions and just
it's my pleasure, Ruth.
And one of the things
so great. I love hearing questions from all these different people, and such different questions as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And what I love is they're getting the opportunity to see what I've been able to see for all these years. They're seeing who you really are. And so they get to have that experience. And I love being able to share that experience with them. And they always ask questions that I've never even thought of. And so it's great. And so as we wrap things up, what I typically do at this point, if you guys would like to unmute and just express your appreciation to Andrew, by all means, you may do that.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrew.
In Florida.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. See you on the cruise.
See you on the cruise.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Thanks both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Ruth.
Well, thank you guys for all being here. Thank you, Andrew, and have a great day, great rest of your week, and we'll see you later.
Thank you so much again for having me on, Ruth. I really, really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody, for your questions.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
So, I don't think I need to say anything else after you got to listen to watch this particular episode, depending on whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're listening through Apple Podcasts. There's really not much else to say. My virtual audience, they were my co-hosts, and I was so pleased to turn everything over to them. Andrew was beyond gracious. Who you see on that movie screen, your TV screen, that's him. That is who he is. I could go on and on and on about Andrew, but I don't think I need to. Yes, I'm a fan, but he is also a very good friend, and I can't even tell you how much it has meant to know him over the years and to watch these wonderful movies that he brings us. So, all I'm asking, please, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe on YouTube, follow, rate, review on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast provider you're listening through, whatever app you're using, whether you're listening online, whatever the case might be. I would love to get some feedback from you. Please join my Facebook group. Don't you want to be a part of this audience? I mean, come on, people. You never know who I'm going to bring on. Andrew Walker was really a last-minute setup, so you just never know. I am so grateful for your support. You all mean so much to me, And I'm grateful that God gave me this vision and that you all are a part of it. I am so excited to watch Andrew's movie. Whether you're listening to this after it's premiered, before it's premiered, whatever the case is, it's going to be phenomenal. So let's tune in and support this man and his incredible family. And of course, Little West juice. Be sure you get some Little West juice. I can't even tell you how much I'm addicted to that stuff. Okay, I know. I wasn't asked to do all that, but I just had to. So, thank you again for your support. And I look forward to seeing you on another episode of Media from the Heart. God bless you.